I agree. You got to hit him on the issues. And Paxton should be doing that. Where's Paxton? I've seen Mitch McConnell more than Paxton. McConnell's been in the hospital all summer. Get out of your hole, Paxton, and do something. I can't win this race for you. It's not on Fox. Go raise some money, do a hit, and lay the lumber to this guy. I mean, yeah, he's younger and he's got a little energy and he's new or whatever. But come on, if you lose this seat for Republicans in Texas, you should seek asylum in Mexico. This cannot happen.
So that was Fox News panicking. There's a reason why they're panicking, because I'm going to show you some of the latest polls. I'll show you the prediction market. When we're talking about Talarico's movement, he has momentum right now, and he is overtaking Paxton. And even in the prediction market, we're seeing a big change. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So the prediction market is now, this is Kalshi, it's now showing Ken Paxton at 52%, and it's showing Talarico at 49%. And that is statistically a toss-up. Okay, so whereas before we saw Ken Paxton up in the high 50s, so 58, 59, now we're seeing this race really tighten when it comes to the prediction market. But not only the prediction market, when we're looking at the polling is showing that Talarico is ahead. And let me show you what I'm talking about. So the site that we're using here, this is 270 to win. And let's take a look at some of the latest polls. So you have the Texas Pulse poll, and this was published on 8/7. You have 619 likely voters. The margin of error is plus or minus 4.7%. You have Talarico at 47. You have Ken Paxton at 43. You have other at 10%. If we look at the Texas Southern University poll, this was posted on 8/4/2026. 1,200 likely voters. Margin of error plus or minus 2.8%. Talarico at 47. Ken Paxton at 45. Other at 8%. The next poll here is Wedgwood Polls. This was posted on 7/31/2026. 800 likely voters. Margin of error plus or minus 4%. You have Talarico at 48. You have Ken Paxton at 46. You have other at 6%. And let's look at one more. So this is the Fox News poll. This was posted on 7/30/2026. 1,006 registered voters. Margin of error plus or minus 3%. You have Talarico at 51. You have Paxton at 48. You have 1% for other. Now, what's important to note is these all do fall within the margin of error. So there's no clear leader. But when we start looking at patterns, you see that Talarico was tied here in this Siena College poll. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 6 polls that are showing Talarico ahead, even though it's still within that margin of error. So no clear leader, but you see the movement here. You see the pattern. You see the movement when it comes to the prediction market. All of this stuff is very important. We're also seeing the movement when it comes to fundraising. And not just are we seeing movement, but we're seeing Fox News, believe it or not, calling out Paxton and telling Paxton, look, you got to do something. Now I want to show you both sides. I want to show you Talarico speaking, and I also want to show you Ken Paxton speaking. Let's start with Talarico. Here we go.
They don't see red or blue. They only see green. They see us. They see us as people to rip off. They see us as one opposing team. So we might as well start acting like one. It's time. It's time. It's time for us to come together across these manufactured divisions to take on the people at the top who have been screwing us over for far too long. Because the real fight in this country is not left versus right. It's top versus bottom. That is the movement that we are building here in Texas. This is not a politics of fear. This is not a politics of division. This is a politics of unity, a politics of friendship, a politics of love. This new kind of politics can change our state. It can change our country. This new kind of politics can build a new American dream.
Okay, so that was James Talarico. What do you guys think? I mean, it was pretty inspirational in my opinion. Let's take a look and a listen to Ken Paxton. He's going to be talking about the $50,000 tax deduction down payment for a house. I'll explain a little bit more after he speaks, but I just want you to look at the difference between campaigns and really pay attention to the presentation here. Now, Ken Paxton, they put this out. Okay, so let's take a look. Here we go.
We also want to offer a first-time homebuyer $50,000 tax deduction. And if you buy another residence, that's your primary residence, another $50,000 tax deduction. So you have two bites the apple. Because we know that the cost of housing under the Biden administration skyrocketed. The cost of building it and then interest rates have made it very difficult for many of our citizens to afford housing. And so we are going to make it easier for people to buy houses.
Okay, so that was the clip there. The first thing that I noticed, just being the junkie I am when it comes to video and video editing, the sound was terrible. They're putting this stuff out and the sound is horrible. The worst thing you can do when it comes to video is have horrible audio, because people will sit through a poor video, but they can't sit through poor audio. If the audio is bad, that's why I have this big mic, because when I'm on the road, anytime, this is the best audio that you're going to get. That's why I use this mic. That's why when you see the politicians out there, they're usually talking on a mic that's right up to their mouth, because it's the best audio. For whatever reason, this audio was terrible. And that is not acceptable in a professional campaign. And I can see it if someone was recording this on their phone and they were in the back. This is his campaign putting this stuff out. And it's just, I mean, in my opinion, if you are serious about winning a campaign, you're going to take the time for, the presentation. You want that presentation to be great, because you compare the two. You look at Talarico speaking in front of probably over 1,000 people, and then you see Ken Paxton with this real tight shot, so you can't even see the audience. The audio is terrible. The video isn't good. You can't even see what's behind them, the wording. Most likely it's going to say Paxton for Senate, but does it say anything else? It's so tight, you can't even see it. And in a situation like this with the audio, he should have had two mics. You should have had a mic that he was holding and then maybe have a lapel mic, just in case that mic that he was holding, if the audio was bad, then they could have switched to another mic. So all of this is very important, especially in a race like this in Texas, because everything is on the line. And you see Fox News is looking at this and saying, we have a problem. Our candidate just isn't good. He's just not a good politician. And that is why we're seeing Talarico move up in the numbers. That's why we're seeing him leading in the polls. That's why we're seeing him closing the gap when it comes to the prediction market. That's why we're seeing him able to fundraise, because Talarico is inspirational. When it comes to Ken Paxton asking for money, I mean, it's almost painful to watch.
Ken Paxton here, Texas Attorney General, running for U.S. Senate. We have a crucial fundraising deadline. Please donate. We need your help now.
And so that's Ken Paxton asking for donations, not telling you what he wants to do for you. He's just saying, hey, we have a deadline. Please send me money. And so now you see why Republicans in the Senate wanted Cornyn to actually win this runoff, because they knew that Ken Paxton was not going to be the best campaigner. And it's showing now. So I want to make a quick pitch here. If you guys are liking the content on my channel, make sure you go over and join my Substack. It's free. And on my Substack, you're going to get articles that are based on some of the videos that I've posted, as well as every video that I post on YouTube, I also post it on Substack, and Substack will send you an email notification so you'll never miss any of my videos. Link is in the description. Let me show you. I want to show you the reason why, when we're talking about Texas, why is Texas so very important? Because Democrats, if they can win in Texas, they have a really good shot of taking back control of the Senate. And the main reason that I'm saying that, if we look at the 9 states right now that are in play, Democrats, they have to pretty much run the table. So it's going to be a challenge for Democrats to take back control of the Senate. But if they can win in Texas, it's really going to help their chances. So if we're looking at the map, if we're looking at Democrats have 3 states that they need to defend. They need to defend Georgia. They need to defend New Hampshire. They also need to defend Michigan. Now, the 2 states that are most likely, if any states are going to flip, the 2 states that are most likely to flip, it's going to be in North Carolina, it's going to be in Maine. Now, Democrats need to win 2 more seats to get to 51, to get to the majority, at least to be able to take back control of the Senate. Now, I know Fetterman's out there. He might want to switch parties. He might not want to switch parties. So in this scenario, Democrats really, at this point, they want to net a total of 5 seats. If they can net a total of 5 seats, they don't have to worry about Fetterman. But since Fetterman hasn't decided that he's going to switch parties yet, or we don't know what he's going to do with that, let's go with the netting 4. So if Democrats win in North Carolina, if they win in Maine, if they win in Texas, then they only need to win 1 more state. And that could be Alaska, that could be Iowa, that could be Ohio. Looking at the latest polling in all 3 of those states, Democrats are doing well in the polling. Looking at Alaska, Peltola is doing well. I think there was only 1 poll that I saw where Sullivan, the incumbent, was winning. The rest of the polls are showing Peltola ahead. When we look at Ohio, Sherrod Brown is doing really well. We've seen Sherrod Brown win a few polls. We've seen Husted win a few polls. They're going back and forth. So we don't really know how to call that. But it does look good for Sherrod Brown. And remember, Husted is the incumbent, but Husted has never won a Senate race before. Sherrod Brown lost in 2024, so he lost a Senate seat in 2024, but he's won in the Senate before. And so he does have an advantage because he knows what it takes to win in Ohio. And then when we look at Iowa, looking at the latest polling in Iowa, it's very close between Tarek and Henson. So we'll have to see how that plays out. And so Democrats do have a pathway to take back control of the Senate. And let's just say, for sake of argument, Democrats win in Ohio. Now, Democrats and independents at 51, Republicans at 47, and then you have 2 more states that are in play, 2 more states that are considered toss-ups. So as I was stating, Democrats have a good shot at winning at those 2 states as well. If they could, let's say, even win 1 of those, that would put them at 52. Then they don't have to worry about Fetterman deciding to switch parties because that Fetterman effect will not be in play. But that is why Texas is so very important for Democrats to win. And right now, Talarico is doing what it takes to win. Paxton, you can't say the same thing for Paxton. Paxton looks like he's just going through the motions. He's not out there. He's not answering questions. There are a lot of people that have questions about some of the things that he's done in the past. He's not answering those questions. He's walking away when reporters ask him about his houses. He's walking away when reporters ask him about different scandals. That is going to hurt him in the future because at some point he's going to have to say something. And if he thinks he doesn't have to say anything, that just makes things even worse. And if they debate, and we'll have to see if there's going to be a debate. I don't know. I don't know if Paxton is going to be willing to debate, because if Paxton does debate, those questions are going to come up. He's going to be on the spot. He's going to have to answer those questions live, and he's not going to want to do that. The best way for him to handle this is to try to get out in front of it and start answering some of those questions now. That way, if they do have a debate, he's able to say, I've already discussed this before, and then kind of go back to what he said in the past. But if he doesn't address it and goes into a debate with all of this stuff up in the air, it's going to be game over for him. So the main takeaway here is the momentum is behind Talarico. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more. And remember, stay informed, stay engaged, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.